Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our tour to Heidiland. On behalf of our driver Armando and me, your tour guide Suzanne, we welcome you on board for our afternoon. We go to Heidiland. First we have a stopover in Rapperswil. I will show you a special old Swiss town from the medieval times. Then we go down to Heidiland and we will see another very nice and also nicely situated old medieval town Werdenberg, and we also go to Vaduz in Little Principality of Liechtenstein. We wish you a great experience and a wonderful day with us. If you have any questions, please do never hesitate to ask me. We also have Wi-Fi in the bus. The password is Meyer. It is capital M-E-I-E-R. Capital M-E-I-E-R. And I would also like to check our time, that everybody has the same time. It is 11 o'clock. Around 5 minutes past 11 Swiss time. That is very important for us, that we can be in our time frame, that everybody has the same time. I thank you for checking it quickly. And here in front of us you see already the main station of Zurich. Zurich is the biggest town in Switzerland. There is the main station here, and there are also 2 stations underground, and there are about 1,200 trains coming and going during one day. You can go directly from here to Paris, to Milan, to Munich, or to Hamburg, to Prague, to Vienna, almost all over Europe, directly from here. And on the left you see the Landesmuseum, the huge museum for Switzerland, with lots of great exhibitions anytime. And there is a nice new building at the side, also not clearly visible from here, but the Landesmuseum, the museum for the Swiss Museum, is not old, it's new Gothic. It is about from the 19th century.
Não, quase nada.
On the left-hand side, as soon as we can drive, you will see the river Limmat. The Limmat is the river of Zurich. It's coming from the lake of Zurich, but further down there is Rapperswil at the other side of the lake, and then there is another river from the Linth, from the Rhine Valley, where we go to, and we will see then from Liechtenstein. Also on the left you already see the building of the University of Zurich on your left hand side. have to drive around here, and on the right you will see a column of a very important personality of Switzerland. This gentleman is called Alfred Escher. He was living in the 19th century, actually from 1819 to 1822, and he was a great visionary and builder and founder. He founded the Swiss bank, the Credit Suisse, and the Technical University we are going to see, and the railway station with all the railways coming and going, and most important, the Gotthard. Driving through the Gotthard today, it only takes about 20 minutes. The trains are speeding with 250 kilometers. It is the longest tunnel in Europe, 57 kilometers. You see Alfred Escher on your left hand side. And we go around that we can cross the river Limmat, and also then on the right at the hotel Schweizerhof there will be the drop-off tonight. You will leave the bus tonight at around 7 o'clock. I will show you the place at the hotel Schweizerhof.
A gente vai descer em outro ponto, na rodoviária. A gente vai descer em outro ponto, na rodoviária.
Na volta?
É.
Por aqui.
Por aí,
Bom, porque aqui é a rua que a gente sabe, onde que a gente achou que o Burger King era aqui. Mas não é.
And this the Franz Karl Weber, the huge children where you can go play by the children's place and all the things children like. This here is the Hotel Schweizerhof on your right hand side. It will be the drop-off tonight. Because here you have the Bahnhofstrasse, this famous Bahnhofstrasse that will be lightened up tonight because it's pre-Christmas at Faint. And at the other end of the street there is the lake of Zurich. At the right hand side you will see a grocery store. It is open until 10 o'clock. Coop, a huge grocery store. And there is also Migros, another grocery store. In the center of town they have open until 10 tonight. Supermarkets and department stores, you can buy all kinds of things. And here we cross the river Limmat. You already have a glimpse to the old medieval town with the churches. I explain it then later when we are closer. And we go around the station here. And here on the right hand side, the Niederdorf, this is the entry, the pedestrian entry to the old medieval town of Zurich. And here you also see the Polybahn. This is the cogwheel train up to the university. Have a look on your right hand side. There is nothing running at the moment, but you see it is on this bridge, the cogwheel train up to the university. From there, there's a nice terrace with a beautiful view over the city of Zurich. Also on the right hand side you see a church, die Frauenkirche, this is a copy of the church from Ravenna in Italy. And you're turning and you see it now on the left hand side. And here we enter the area of the Technical University and of the University of Zurich. Lots of buildings belong to these two universities. Both universities have been built in the 1900s. On your right hand side there is a house for the elderly people living in Zurich. They can apply to live in here at this building called the Front House. We will go underneath the Technical University here. We will have a stopover and go to a place, to the terrace, where I can show you the view and the buildings of Zurich. We will be there about 10 minutes and then we continue our trip to Rapperswil. And now we're all back. We're going to Rapperswil on the highway. Please buckle up in the bus now. Thank you very much for your cooperation. On the right you have another nice view over the old medieval town and the churches. They're all Protestant churches around here, because since the 15th century Zurich is Protestant due to the reformer Zwingli. He was also living in the area same time as Martin Luther in Germany and Jean Calvin in Geneva.
Perfetto. Troppi. You see another entry to the medieval town of Zurich. It's all a pedestrian area now today. In front of us, first you'll see it on the right, the Kunsthaus, the old building, and then on the left, the new building, which was opened in 221. The
old one, where we see first on the right hand side, was founded in 1910. And also on the right you see it's not that big, but is the building of the jurisdiction. On the right we will pass the Kunsthaus, the old part, founded in 1910, and on the left the new building which was opened in 2021. Also in front of us, then on your left when we turn, you see the Schauspielhaus, the theater which was very famous during the Second World War for lots of Jewish refugees who could work here. That means playing parts which were forbidden in Germany then. And also on the left you see the old wall from the medieval town of Zurich. This brick wall, and further down there is also a parking for today. It was the old town. And the wall around the old town, and today a parking. And actually, unfortunately, parking is very, very expensive in Zurich. On your right you see other entries, other small streets leading into the old medieval town. Again, it's all pedestrian avenues or pedestrian streets. And only for delivery cars are allowed in. This is called Oberdorf. And the house here on your left hand side, the Kronenhalle, this is a very famous, or the famous restaurant of Zurich. They have original paintings from Picasso, for example, or Chagall. And also on your left, the very white building, that is the Opera House. And now we cross the river again, the Limmat. You see the old churches again, St. Peter with the huge clock, and then the smaller one, which used to be a cloisters about 1,000 years ago, and the one with the two towers, the Grossmünster, the place and the church of Ulrich Zwingli. And also in front of us, the mountain of Zurich, the Uetliberg. From there you have a beautiful view in nice weather, of course. Down to Zurich from the other side and up to the snow-peaked mountains today. And here on this place on the left, there is the market taking place on the Tuesdays and Fridays morning. But we are coming closer now to the church, which used to be the cloister, Frau Münster, and the Zunfthaus, the guild hall, to the Meissen, where Winston Churchill had the speech after the Second World War. He said Europe has to rise again. That was after the Second World War when he visited Zurich. And on the left, this is the Stadthaus, the main building of Zurich, where people have to sign up when marrying or when the acquaintances have to go when somebody died for registration. Now you have the beautiful view over this Guildhall in front of us, the Zunfthaus zur Meissen. And on the left there's a nice little place, and now it is decorated for Christmas shopping. Where people can buy Christmas presents or have a drink, like for example the Glühwein, the special hot wine, which is tasted sweet. And in front of us the beautiful view to the Grossmünster, and you see the Emperor Charles with a crown and a sword when you look up. And now, before Christmas, in this Advent time, there are all over the little houses where people can buy Christmas presents or have these Christmas drinks like Glühwein or tea. And here on the right hand side is the water church with the building of Ulrich Zwingli, of the reformer, the pastor of Zurich. And you also see the circus Gonelli. The circus is always coming in December, by the end of November, and playing in December. It's only for Christmas. And it's also very nice when you know, also when you see, Gonelli is coming and building the tents, then we know, oh, Christmas is not far. The building on the left used to be a hotel, but now it is for offices and apartments. We cross the lake again. You will have another view on the left down to Zurich, and on the right to Zurich, and on the left up the lake, where we are going to direction to Rapperswil. And also in front of the Opera House, it's called Bellevue, Sechserleutenplatz. You see the buildings, the little huts and houses decorated for Christmas. Inside you see the market again, taking place on Tuesdays and Friday mornings. And after the red light, on the right hand side, you see the hotel Borolak. This used to be the first 5-star hotel in Zurich. It was also built in the 1900s.
Sexta-feira de manhã. Barraca
On the left, you see the station where the ships and the boats are leaving. And here, again, on the right-hand side, you see Kongresshalle. Actually, that is the Tonhalle, the concert hall, the home of the Philharmonic Orchestra of Zurich. It's renovated and it is a superb acoustic now. The old concert hall was built in 1895. And now also again on the right you see this huge building, red brick. They said a red castle it was called, and this building this had the first electrical elevator. The first electrical elevator was in this building, and also in this building, which is now renovated, and we can see it clearly. And here the area of the insurance companies. Around Bahnhofstrasse there are the big banks, and here along the lake there are the insurance companies. This is Swiss Life, a huge insurer. And here on the left, when we turn, it's on the left with the old building, the original building, and the very new one. This is the Zurich insurance. Zurich, you might know the name or the sign, just white, Zurich on blue background. This is the main office. And the head office. Another impression of the building, Zurich. The headquarters on your left hand side. And also the buildings on the right, they are offices from the insurance companies. And now the very modern building, that is the Swiss Re insurance company, also founded in the 1900s, and it is the second largest reinsurer in the world. The largest reinsurer in the world is the Munich reinsurance. And the old building here on the left, that is the former, but still the main office, but the original one. But now they used or needed much more spaces, so they have to build all around town, almost all around town, new buildings. Here on the left you see Belvoir, the restaurant, and it also used to be the University for Gastronomy in Zurich and hotellery. People could study here 2 to 3 years, learning, serving, cooking, all what is needed for a very good restaurant. But now they have to close down after the pandemic, and people have to learn again in Lausanne or Lucerne. There are some more schools for gastronomy. On your left you see the huge park. In the summer it's taking place with theaters and exhibitions. also interesting to go inside and just have a look. It is mostly for young people, because the young people had been demonstrated when the town said, the officials of Zurich said, and wanted to spend lots of money only for the opera, but nothing for the young people. So in the 80s they demonstrated, and then they got this area for their exhibition and their culture. And today it's just normal. Nobody could think Zurich without these red buildings. And it was not only the head office for the telephone company, it was before then even for the textile. It was textile company, textile industry. You drive along the lake to the outskirts of Zurich, where we will pass then in Kilsberg, the home of chocolate. We will pass the headquarters, the manufacturers of the chocolate, the famous Lindt and Sprüngli. Sprüngli nobody can spell, so they decided we only take the first name Lindt. Chocolate Lindt. So everybody knows, and it's much easier to spell. Was inaugurated by Roger Federer. Lindt, home of chocolate, on your right hand side. And a teddy bear for Christmas. Like the Easter Bunny, they organized the teddy bear for Christmas. Here the huge company of chocolate. There's also a factory outlet here where you can buy chocolate a little cheaper. They say it might be perhaps a little broken, but not much. Lots of people like to go here, come here by boat. Then they go up here to the chocolate because there's a boat, a port right here, and then they go to the factory outlet and also to the museum to buy the chocolate a little cheaper. And I was told it is worthwhile. Also in Kilchberg, a little up here, was the home of Thomas Mann, the famous German writer who wrote the Buddenbrooks, or A Death in Venice. You might know this literature from Thomas Mann. And further up, we will also pass main office of the IBM Research Center. And a little further down, but it's already in the next village, Dow Chemical is also situated on the lakeshore here. On the left you see it lightened up a little bit, and you see the snow-peaked mountains. see the huge sign of the department store and grocery store Migros. The founder of these Migros, these grocery stores, was also living up here behind the forest here. He was founding after the First World War, the cars to sell products like potatoes, flour, so for everyday use for the rather poor people. And then it grew so much, he had so much success that Migros is now a huge institution for Migros. And a very special thing or specialty about Migros, it is forbidden for them to sell alcohol. But otherwise you can buy almost anything from Migros. They have a bank, they have hotels, grocery stores, gas stations, you name it.
Manda pra essa, então. Amigo.
The founder of this grocery store, his name is or was Gottfried Duttweiler, and he is very famous in Switzerland for all what he did. Now we are driving on the highway to Rapperswil. In Switzerland, we are allowed to drive 120 kilometers per hour, not more. If you do more, you might risk a huge fine from the police because they are checking with radar all over the place, or you might even lose your driver's license. So we have to be very careful. We have to pay for driving on the highway. We have to pay 40 Swiss francs. By the end of the year, already now, it's out in the grocery stores or kiosks. The tickets we have to place very good, very clearly visible on the front door, on the front window of the car, and then we can drive on all the highways around Switzerland. And also people who just want to pass Switzerland, they have to buy this ticket as well. It is valid for 1 year. And I just read yesterday, it is out for 2023. It has the color yellow. It is always each year a different color.
Que hora que fecha hoje? Eu tiro foto aí pra você.
You also see on the cars passing by the sign CH, that means Confederatio Helvetica, and these Latin words were chosen that no part of Switzerland has, with their different language, has a priority or is preferred, because around the Zurich area there are 62% of the population speaking German. Actually, Swiss German, a dialect, we have to learn German at school. In the French part of Switzerland, there are around 23% of the population speaking French. In the southern part, around the area of Lugano, Ascona, 8% of the population are speaking Italian, and in the very far east, about 1% of the population is still speaking Romansh. That is a very old Latin Italian language. Of course, people living there speaking Romansh, they have to learn German, French or Italian at school. We have 26 counties in very, very old because it was on the way for the pilgrims from the north to the monastery of Einsiedeln. It was renovated, of course, and now we can pass over it and just enjoy the view of the lake of Zurich on the one side, and on the other side there's a lake we call Obersee, just upper lake. We are going down to pass the bridge from this side of the lake to the other side. So we will be in Rapperswil. You see, it's on the left-hand side. You see the castle. We go there. We were there in about 10 minutes, and we walk through the castle to the old town, up to the castle of Rapperswil, and then you will have your lunch break, and we will meet again and drive off at 1:30.
Para 10 minutos, né?
And I'm very happy when you are on time, that we can really drive off at 1:30, because now in winter time the weather is not that wonderful, so it will be dark very early. So on that, thank you in advance for your cooperation. ago. We are in the canton of Saint-Gall now. And on the left you see the port of the ships. There are still ships working on moving around the lakes in winter, but much less than in summer. So we will be at our parking in about a minute. And it is the drop-off. We disembarked the bus here. And we also embarked the bus here at 30 minutes past 1:30. And I thank you in advance that you will be on time, that we can leave at 1:30 from here.
Grazie Susanna. Dankeschön.
Hast du noch Sachen, die du mir sagen möchtest, dass du was ich vergessen habe? Ich habe noch alles überarbeitet. So. Ich habe noch im Doppelbuch noch ein bisschen recherchiert, dass ich noch etwas sagen kann. Also von der Industrie.
Ah, diese von Rapperswil.
Ja. Aber es gibt nicht viel. Es gibt nicht viel.
Das ist der Festival, das ist schon Reise.
We disembarked the bus here, and also when you see the tree, there's also a restaurant called Rosenstädter. They serve nice with specialties, nice meals for lunch at an affordable price. So we disembark here, and it's also the place where we embark the bus to leave at 1:30, 30 minutes past 1.